Welcome to Season 7 of Bridge the Gap, a podcast dedicated to informing, educating, and influencing the future of housing and services for seniors. Powered by sponsors AccuShield, Align, Nick Map Vision, ProCare HR, Sage, Hamilton Captel, ServiceMaster, The Bridge Group Construction, and Solinity, and produced by Solinity Marketing. Welcome to Bridge the Gap podcast. I'm Sarah Mitchell, filling in for Josh and Lucas for this special Ambassador Spotlight. On this episode, you'll meet some of the 2024 Bridge the Gap ambassadors who share a variety of insights and reflections, plus enjoy a glimpse into the diverse perspectives that shape the landscape of seniors housing. From the power of connections to recounting life lessons learned and a reminder to keep evolving as an industry, every ambassador brings a unique perspective to this conversation. We are reminded of the invaluable contributions from these leaders in shaping the future of senior living. It's certainly an influential group of leaders that the senior living marketing agency, Solinity Marketing, is proud to support with full-service marketing and PR efforts. So tune in as we hear from the 2024 ambassadors and discover the transformative power of these perspectives on this episode of Bridge the Gap.
Hello, I'm Anthony Ormsbee-Hale. I am the Senior Vice President of Strategic Operations at Civitas Senior Living, and I'm so fortunate to be part of the Bridge the Gap Ambassador Group. When I think back on one thing that I have learned from this industry, I always think about the power of connections, building relationships with the residents that we serve in senior living communities, with the team members that we get to serve alongside with, and then, of course, the incredible colleagues, friends that we meet along the way that support us in our journey. I personally have been so positively impacted by the people who have invested time, mentorship, and resources in my own development that I can honestly say that without the connections that I built within the senior living industry over the last 11 years, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. So I'm so grateful to this small but mighty industry for the incredible work that they do, for empowering people to pursue jobs that they never even thought were possible, and of course, for the connections made as part of the Bridge the Gap network. And when I think about the benefits of really being part of the Bridge the Gap network and listening and taking in all of the great Bridge the Gap content, for me, I've been at Civitas for the last 6.5 years, and even with the best organizations, you get stuck in that bubble in your own little world. And so I love tuning into Bridge the Gap podcast, where I get an opportunity to listen to experts from so many fantastic companies and organizations and just their thought leadership on what is happening in the world of senior living, taking that feedback in, processing it through our own lens, and seeing what we can do to really make a positive impact in the lives of the residents that we serve and the teams that we get to lead and the broader organization as a whole. So I'm grateful to Bridge the Gap for the phenomenal content that they put out through the podcast, through events, and through other ways in this industry.
I'm Austin Steele. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer here at Journey. I'm a Bridge the Gap ambassador, and I've been asked to just share what is one lesson that I've learned from senior living. And I have to say, it is people matter. And I know that may sound really simple, you work in you work in the people space, but I just want to say that it is not just the people that we take care of. It is literally those care team members that are on the team with us. They mean so much. And I'm not just talking, this is everybody that is on your team. It's the CNAs, it's the housekeepers, it is your cohort, your colleague, it's your mentor. I can't tell you how much that it has meant to me as I've grown up. I've literally grown up from being 22 working in the space to 40 that, it does matter. I've spent the last 18 years working in this space, and the people that I've worked with, I still look to them. I call them. I had a call yesterday with somebody that I used to work with just because I wanted his opinion on something that he knew more about than what I knew, and I was exploring that. So people really matter. They get to make an impact in your life. Hopefully you get to make an impact on their life. What is the best part about the BTG content? And I just want to say that the folks over at Bridge the Gap, they do a great job of just informing everyone what is going on in the space, what's new, what's something for you to look at. It gives you education, whether that's hey, I know, the senior living space. I go to BTG to learn more. Maybe I share that information with somebody else. I also steered my parents there as they were looking at where somewhere for my grandmother to go as we're exploring assisted living and senior living options. Without a doubt, there is so much content that is on the BTG platform. I'm excited just to be an ambassador and be able to share a little bit of what I know to help the BTG voice. And I'm just telling you that it's going to be a great thing here at BTG. I'm Austin Steele, and I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Journey, and I'm excited to be an ambassador.
This is Rachel Kesselem. I'm the VP of Growth at Expense Consulting. One of the lessons I have learned from the senior living industry is the importance of solving challenges in community, not on your own and not in silos. I think time and time again, I see this demonstrated in this industry, and I am continually reminded about how important it is to turn to your own, group internally in your own organization or industry-wide when trying to solve complex challenges and problems. I think when you open your mind and get curious about other people's stories and experiences and lessons, and they've been there, done that, I think that is what drives innovation and growth and keeps us all moving forward in this industry. The best part about Bridge the Gap content to me is going along the same lines about that is the crowdsourcing and the knowledge share that happens. Historically, when knowledge might have retired out of the industry before getting shared, I think Bridge the Gap is capturing those stories, these lessons, this, how are you solving for this? Or you've just accomplished this major goal, tell me more about it. They're capturing these moments, and I think the content is just so relevant, it's impactful, it's digestible no matter how busy you are, and it's entertaining. So I feel like Bridge the Gap is quite literally bridging the gap between generational knowledge and just experience level of the industry and making it accessible for everybody to take it in, digest it, and apply it to their own role.
My name's David Hopkins. I'm the president of Kazoo Leadership, a consulting firm based around leadership, culture, and effectiveness in your organization. I am also a Bridge the Gap ambassador for 2024, and a few years ago, I had the privilege of being a contributor on Contributor Wednesday on the Bridge the Gap podcast. The one thing that I have learned in senior living is that you need to be authentic. Be yourself and be who your community is. So many times do we try to stretch outside of our range to offer services and accommodate people that don't fit our niche market in our environment, in our community. And most of the times we're just looking for that quick move in to increase our census. But when you create an effective community by being authentic and attracting the people that will work well in your community and live in your community, you'll find success. I have to tell you, the one thing I really like about Bridge the Gap podcast is the information that I'm learning challenges me. It takes me outside my comfort zone. It exposes me to things that I'm not really thinking about in my lane of work. And it allows me to broaden my horizons. The depth of knowledge and the expert in the speakers that come on and the interviewees, Josh and Lucas, as well as producer Sarah, do an amazing job of telling a story that's effective, communicative, and very reliable. So thanks so much, and thanks for listening to Bridge the Gap.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Adelman. I am a 2024 Bridge the Gap ambassador. I'm the founder of Adelman Law Firm and GuidePath. For over 35 years, I've been serving the senior living industry as a lawyer, risk manager, and educator. I'm also a caregiver journeying with my family through senior living along the entire continuum of care. One of the profound lessons that my experience in the senior living industry has taught me, a lesson that has not only shaped my professional path, but also enriched my personal life, is that the needs and feelings of people who transition to a senior living community are complex and most often unexpressed and misunderstood. In the journey of transitioning a loved one into a senior living community, families experience a kaleidoscope of emotions. These range from worry about their loved one's well-being to guilt over making the decision to transition care, confusion about the processes and medical conditions, anger due to past unresolved issues, and fear of the unknown. It's a pivotal moment that redefines relationships and roles within the family. This lesson has impacted me deeply, not just as a professional, but in a personal capacity. As a daughter, it has made me more empathetic and supportive, and understanding these emotional complexities has allowed me to foster a stronger, more understanding bond with my own family during times of change. In my roles as a lawyer and risk manager, this lesson has become a cornerstone of my approach. It guides me in advising, educating, crafting policies, and in my interactions, ensuring that they are not only legally sound, but also emotionally considerate. This awareness helps in mitigating risks that stem not just from logistical or clinical oversights, but from emotional disconnects as well. The lesson of understanding and respecting the complex feelings families experience during care transitions has been invaluable. It has taught me that our roles in the senior living industry are not just about providing a service, but are about supporting a significant life change. Recognizing the unexpressed and misunderstood feelings provides the unique insights which can be used to educate and support our residents and their families better. This lesson, and by acknowledging and addressing these emotional aspects, we do not just do our jobs, we make a meaningful difference in people's lives. And what is the best part of Bridge the Gap content? Bridge the Gap offers an exceptionally diverse range of topics that cater to various stakeholders in the senior living industry. This diversity ensures that everyone involved in senior living can find something relevant and beneficial, fostering a well-rounded understanding of the industry. Josh and Lucas have crafted a platform where information is not only easy to understand, but also readily available across multiple media formats, whether through podcasts, videos, or articles. The content is designed to be engaging and accessible to all. The best part, though, of Bridge the Gap is the passion behind its content. This passion is the Bridge the Gap difference. Josh and Lucas explore topics deeply, challenge the status quo, and advocate for positive changes in the senior living industry. Their enthusiasm is infectious, inspiring others to engage deeply with the content and contribute to the conversation. Thanks for the opportunity to share and to serve as a Bridge the Gap ambassador.
Hi, I am Erin Thompson, founder of Aspire for More with Erin, and I am here to tell you, the Bridge the Gap audience, one lesson that I learned from senior living. Now, if you follow me at all, if you know me at all, I'm a bit extra. So I can't give you just one, but I can give you three, and then I can give you one that really impacted my life. So let's get started. Number one lesson I learned from senior living is what it's like to live a passion and purposeful life. When you serve others in their time of need, it is amazing the return on investment you get for yourselves. Leadership is sales, sales is service, and giving people a vision that's bigger than themselves is a way of life that added so much value to my life. So don't underestimate. This is not just a real estate business. This is a service, passion, people-centered, purpose-driven industry that we work in. And it changed my life forever. Number two, senior living taught me how to overcome adversity. We all have struggles. We all have problems, right? But the number one skill that you can get in overcoming all the opportunities that we have to solve people's problems is resiliency. Without resiliency, you will crumble under the pressure. And so what senior living taught me the most was to identify the problem, see it as it is, keep all of my energy focused on those solutions, and then learn from what the opportunity gave me. And then in return, turn around and use it as an education lesson for your team, because you only fail if you don't learn. And if you're living, you're learning. And that is senior living. Number 3, a community is just a community until a leader and a team steps in and makes it a great place to work. Differentiating factor in any community are the people who are living out the core values of that company and the way the service is delivered. And the more you can highlight that for your community, the more people will come to you who are looking for exactly what you offer. So honor your people, and they will honor you. And the last, most personal lesson that I've learned working inside of senior living is the resiliency skills, the assessment skills, the problem-solving skills, the pattern recognition skills that I got that prepared me to be the mother of my special needs son and my typical daughter. My memory care residents gave me the skills that I needed in my personal life to be the best mother I could in a situation that I was completely unprepared for. And I am most proud that my children made me a better leader and advocate for my communities and the people that I serve. And thank you, Senior Living, for giving me the opportunity to serve the people that I love the most and to continue serving this senior living profession and asking you to aspire for more for you.
Hi, I'm Dani Merlino with Merlino Senior Living Solutions. The senior living industry has taught me so many life lessons. One that I'm so incredibly appreciative of is it's taught me how to have grit and to persevere. And whether it's situations that I've come across in the industry or have personally been a part of, or reading stories or talking to other colleagues in the industry, it keeps you on your toes. And just when you think you want to give up, or just when you want to become complacent, something gets thrown your way like COVID, and you learn to pivot and you learn to adjust, and you have this incredible network of support. You are literally never alone in this industry. There is always somebody out there who has experienced what you are going through, whether it's low occupancy, whether it's a staffing crisis, whether it's, oh gosh, we're having a hard time adapting to technology. You have this huge support system that honestly feels like family to me at this point in time, that is there to help guide you and cheer you on and give you words of encouragement and help point you in the right direction. I love Bridge the Gap content because it does keep me on my toes. It doesn't allow me to become complacent. Sometimes I get maybe narrow-minded of a project I'm focused on, and then I read an article or content or listen to a podcast, and I'm like, oh, that's a really cool way to go about something or to think about something. And it is always broadening my horizons. And I think that's so incredibly important, because if we become so narrow-minded and forget to listen to others' point of views, we're not going to be successful, and we're not going to be the best that we can be for our residents.
Hi, this is Charles, CEO of Link Senior. We provide a resident engagement platform for senior living. Some of you might have seen us through our Old People Are Cool initiative, with the idea that everyone is cool, including older adults, and we believe that aging is part of living. On that vein, my personal passion is all about dementia. And recently, I've been thinking more and more about this idea of dementia inclusion. And it could be like, if I told you I had dementia, why and how would you treat me differently? And the thing is, I really deeply believe that memory care is the future of senior living. And that question really helps move the needle every single time. I'm also super proud to be a Bridge the Gap ambassador, simply because I deeply believe, I think it's the best thread to follow and really understand where we are as an industry and obviously where we're headed. So thanks for listening, and be in touch.
I'm Joel Prevost with Prevost Partners. And one lesson I've learned from the senior housing industry is that innovation always pays off. In the long run, it's always worth it to embrace innovation. Not only do you benefit from the more efficient practices you embrace or the new technology that you adopt, but you also send the message to your teams that you are ready for the next big challenge, and that you start to build that culture of innovation. Even when it's challenging, even when it doesn't go perfectly, or maybe it ultimately fails, you still score points in that long run with culture, and that you are embracing new ideas, you are ready for the next thing, and you'll be better positioned for years to come and the next wave of challenges. I'm a huge Bridge the Gap fan for a whole host of reasons. Mostly, though, that they bring an optimism to the industry through their content, through their wide range of guests, and the different voices that they amplify through their platform. And they're just they're great hosts, they're great interviewers, and they're the cool kids in the industry. So it's really fun to take in their content, connect with them. And I hope you take time to take in the podcast and enjoy it, because I really think it helps push forward that optimistic voice that the industry needs as we face so many challenges, but we will overcome them. And they truly care about the industry and making it successful.
Hi, my name is Aaron Fish. I'm the founder and CEO of Trestle Hospitality Concepts and the host of the Senior Living Food and Hospitality podcast, Tips from Trestle. So one of the questions that I always get asked is, what's the biggest thing I've learned about being in the senior living industry? What's my big takeaway? And I think, having been in this industry for 20 years, honestly, for me, it's having learned and understand that this is not a transactional business. This is a relationship business. We are an industry of people serving people, and we have to remember that. And I think the relationships go deeper than just making sure that we embrace and build those with the residents we serve, but it's also about the industry as a whole, right? How do we build good, strong relationships with all of the various industry partners we work with, the employees that we work with, building the strong relationships and understanding that we've got to take care of all of the people in our industry has been the one big takeaway for me. With my background prior to senior living being in hotels and restaurants, it was hospitality, it was high-end service, but it was also very transactional, right? Like, follow the processes, in, out, done. And that's just not how it works in senior living. So if I had to share my biggest takeaway or the biggest thing that I think is important about this industry, it's that you've got to embrace making amazing relationships to be successful in the long run. Why do I love BTG content? Because they are going and finding some of the best and top industry leaders. They're bringing them in and they're giving us insight and detail and just where are we at as an industry, right? There are so many ways to get information, but I love the fact that I can pull up a BTG podcast and be going to a client's location or just be working in my office trying to catch up on the day's to-do list. And I can listen to the podcast. I can hear all of these insights, all of this information directly from the industry leaders themselves. It's not diluted in an article or through a third party in any way, shape, or form. It's really, truly them coming on and sharing their insights in how they're seeing the shape of our industry. The other piece, and this is me being biased and selfish, I guess, but being a part of the ambassador program has been amazing for me. I have built some amazing, not just partnerships, but true friendships from the ambassador program. And whether it's someone inside the senior living industry who's doing, community management, or they're in the corporate office somewhere, or if it's an industry partner in any of the different verticals that we support, we all come together and it really truly is almost like a family. We're here to help each other. We're here to support and share and raise everybody up. And I think that's what's also great about the ambassador program. So definitely be sure to go like and subscribe and follow so you don't miss any of these great industry insights as they come out on the BTG podcast.
Hi, I'm Lindsey Daugherty. I am head of community with Sage. I wanted to talk about one lesson that I learned in senior living. So I've been in senior living since 1999, and the lesson I have learned, one, it's a very purposeful career. You get to impact those that have laid out the foundation for us today, and then you get to impact and mentor those who are our future. So there's nothing else like it out there, at least that I have found. So a lesson that I have learned is to be patient, to really be able to put yourself in other people's shoes, because when you're caring for people and you are assisting families in finding a place for their loved one or someone to find their next forever home, you really have to have patience and passion, right, for what you do. One thing that senior living has kind of been behind on is the right tools and the right tech that we have needed to really be able to manage everything we're managing and being able to push forward, right? Level up in what we're doing. But there is an appetite for it. I like there to be a hunger for it, but there's an appetite. And so why I love Bridge the Gap content is because it creates that hunger. It takes us to the next level, and it gives us the resources and education that we need and the support to move this industry forward, to think outside the box, to really look at different ways of doing things. And I love it. I love being a part of it.
Hi, I'm Katie Churchill, Managing Partner with Full Spectrum Search Group, and I support and oversee our senior living division and recruiting. And I have been a Bridge the Gap ambassador now for the past 2 years, and it has been incredible, all of the friendships developed and the networking. Love seeing my fellow ambassadors out in the wild at conferences and being able to have conversation in person rather than LinkedIn messaging or texting. I would say my favorite thing about being a Bridge the Gap ambassador would be the networking. Also, the episodes are just incredible content. It is so incredible to hear from different operators and providers about what they are doing in their markets to be strategic and continue to market to wonderful and incredible families for senior living. Absolutely love it. So if you haven't listened to an episode, definitely get on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen, to listen to a podcast for Bridge the Gap. The biggest lesson I think that I've learned in senior living is that we continue to keep evolving, right? We continue to be strategic whenever it comes with our talent or even our marketing efforts out to bring in residents to our communities. But I would say that we are being strategic about the resident profile that we are having in our communities. I also would say that it's incredible to connect with several different professionals of all walks of life to learn why they are in our industry and what really motivates them to stay. That has been an incredible experience as well. So if you are new to senior living, welcome. If you'd like to get involved in senior living, I highly recommend it. It is such an incredible career. It is extremely rewarding. And there's so much that you can do within senior living outside of, working in a community and things like that. There's a lot of talent to be had in this industry, and it's exciting to communicate and connect with everybody that is involved in our industry.
Hi, I'm Jesse Maruca. I'm the National Director of Business Development at Heritage Medical. What is one lesson I've learned from the senior living industry? There are so many lessons. Bring your heart. Bring your heart. Because that is going to encompass everything else. If you bring your heart, your kindness, your empathy is going to be there for what we do for our senior living industry. For our people, it's all about the residents. So bring your heart. These are people's lives. These are people's parents. This might be your grandparent, your relative. Bring your heart. That's the biggest lesson I've learned from this. And if you're bringing your heart, then from the C-suite down to the cleaning crews, you're going to have interactions with residents, with families, with fellow care staff. if you have your heart involved in it, then you're going to do the best thing that's for the resident. You're going to do the best thing that's for the family. You're going to do the best thing and the best job you can do to make sure that you're making their home like the most palatable place to be, right? One thing that I always love to say, or I try and live my life by, is be the best part of someone's day. And so if you're trying to live your daily life like that, you're bringing your heart to your job, to your industry, to our industry, then that's going to create a phenomenal culture, which is talked about all the time at so many different conferences. We hear that, we hear it from Bridge the Gap podcasts. I mean, we hear it, and in all different facets of the industry and all different facets of business, whether it's the C-suites, whether it's regional, whether it's ops, whether it's sales and marketing, it's still said, and culture is felt. So I would say most industries, you're encouraged to leave your emotions and your feelings at the door. Check it. This is business. There's no room for that. Our industry is completely different. We need you to bring your heart. We need people that want to make a difference in people's lives. That's what senior living needs. That's the biggest lesson I've learned. And so what I love about the content is that there's so many thought leaders that we might not have access to in our personal lives to be able to speak with these people, but Josh and Lucas, they ask the questions to get to the heart of the matter. So you have these thought leaders, and people, why do people listen, right? It's because maybe we want to learn. Maybe we'll want to feel inspired, or we're trying to figure out what to do in our community because maybe occupancy is down in one area. We're struggling with this, or we're struggling with that thought. And maybe we have ideas of how to approach it, how to resolve it. But we still listen because maybe someone has a different idea that we haven't heard, maybe a new concept, or they're just very creative in the way they approach something that we might not have thought about or our team hasn't looked at. And sometimes maybe you just need the encouragement. There's so many messages, positive messages, but true. I mean, heartfelt messages, and sometimes they're very blunt in what they say. If there was mistakes made, lessons learned, that's available on the podcast. But there's so many different levels of the information that's coming from, and there's so many different topics that I feel like my favorite part of that content is being able to get the lessons and education, maybe encouragement from people that I won't normally be able to have a conversation with. I feel like that's the best part about the content.
I literally can't think of another industry where customer or client experience matters more. I mean, this is literally an industry where clients live here permanently, hopefully. We want people to come, stay, and thrive. You think about other kind of related fields, hospitality. Come to our 5-star resort, stay for 7 days, enjoy yourself, and then go home. A hospital, come, get well, get healthy, and then, you want to leave. But senior living is just so unique in that we want this to be their home. And, this became really real to me. Probably about 12 years ago, I was sitting in an airport, and at the time I was doing safety and health consulting. And on my laptop screen, I had a couple of pictures of showing correct and incorrect gate bell techniques. A woman walked by and she saw my laptop and she asked me, she said, "What do you do for a living?" I told her. She said, "Well, I do consulting in senior living also." But she was doing culinary consulting. Her story was fascinating. She had been an executive chef for about 20 years. And then, remember, this is about 12 years ago. So she was starting to see the change from baby boomers moving into senior living. And she was just adamant. She said, our industry needs to change, especially when it comes to dietary, the meals, the options, the quality. She used the word flair. We need to serve food with flair. She said, the baby boomers will not tolerate our current customer experience when it comes to meals. And she said, those who figure it out will thrive. Those who don't will go away. It just really impacted me how important the overall customer experience is in senior living. I think the content on Bridge the Gap is amazing. The guests offer something unique, and I learn something every time I listen.
If I could go back 15 or 20 years since I started in this industry and tell the brand new Sherrie in the industry some of the lessons that I know today, I think the lessons that stand top of mind, and number one is don't take yourself too seriously, right? The only person who expects you to be perfect is you, and to stay open-minded, open to feedback, especially. You'll grow so much faster. Don't take it defensively. Those who give us feedback really just want what's best for us. And I think the second lesson that I learned much later in my career is it's not about what you do, it's more about why you do what you do. So when I went through a process of determining why am I in this industry? Why do I want to get into the office every single day? It really helped me fine-tune what really made me stand out as an individual in this industry. So my why is I hit the ground every single day to identify pathways to achievement. And over the years, in collecting into my network of people, I want to continue to invest in anybody and everybody that comes into my life. So the pathways to achievement are not ever for myself. They're always for other people. I want to continue investing in people, in companies, in products, in communities, in seniors, and be a part of the entire industry. What I love most about Bridge the Gap is that they have opened the door. Right? They've opened the door to allow guests to come on to talk about every possible discipline and area of our industry. And it is a very intense and complex industry. So I believe that Bridge the Gap has opened the door to all of us to be able to explore more, hear from more, allow us to open the door, bring more people in, and grow our network. I truly believe that your network is your net worth, and you can bring more people into who you are, what you do every single day to deliver all of those wonderful things that we want to deliver to our residents.
Thanks for listening to Bridge the Gap podcast with Josh and Lucas. Connect with the BTG Network team and use your voice to influence the industry by connecting with us at btgvoice.com.